We have people in positions of power in the city who, through this last month, have clearly shown to us they don't get the message. They don't get what we're trying to say to them. So it's time for us, in this November coming up, in the elections that's after that, to find out what in this last month, what have each of these aldermen said? What have people in these school boards? What have people in the mayor? What have these people said? These sheriffs, people that we choose, that we vote, that we elect. I know that young people, we aren't always the ones going to the polls in heavy numbers, but we can make that a community change here because we came, we spoke, we tried to tell the people who already had positions of power, who already were in leadership roles, how it is that we feel and how it is that other people in the community feel. That Facebook page has multiple establishments that is calling out for racism. I haven't seen any city officials or the mayor or anybody come out and make a stance to say anything about the establishments of like Murphy's and RBI's, where hundreds of comments of people in your community are saying that it's racist things going on. What they're doing with some of these things are appeasements, and they're trying to have a war of attrition and hoping that people will stop coming out, people will stop paying attention, and they can go back to their old practices and their old habits.
Amen, brother.
And that's the same reason that they gave some of these people charges from the 30th, because they didn't think that we would be still out here protesting. They thought that they could just stick them with charges and nothing would happen from it. It's the same reason they ain't did nothing about my mans here talking, or my mans when he was over here talking. I promise you, if those was two black people and this was some kind of white protest, they would have been quick to say something. It's the reason that they won't let people walk in there.
Amen,
it's because we out here protesting for a black cause. And it's that simple. It's not more complicated than that. They try to make it more complicated by saying, well, all cops aren't bad cops. If I understand the laws correctly, if I'm in a car with somebody and they go rob a gas station and I don't tell the police officers who it was that robbed the gas station and when they did it, I can be charged with the crime. So if these police officers know people that's using excessive force and they not filing complaints or speaking to internal affairs or whatever it is that they got to do, then they need to be held just as accountable as the people that's committing the crime. Period. It's not more complicated than that. Why ain't nobody came out here and said something to my man? You know why? Because they wrote him, something that happened to him, so that way they can have a reason to come out here with tear gas and beat people. That's why they ain't saying nothing to him. Come take care of this man. Ain't that your job? Ain't that your job? Come take care of my man. I want make sure y'all filming this. How this gonna get handled? Let me see how y'all de-escalate situations. Let me see how. Now he gonna stay here because we don't let nothing happen to me. We know y'all not invested in my interests, so we want to see how these situations get de-escalated.
If you wish, you can do that for black people. It's amazing. Amazing. You didn't want that shooting? Nobody had to get shot? I'm shook. I'm shook.
Alright, let's back out here where we was on. Alright. So like I said, I was a little shaky on some of the story going on. I was jumping back and forth. But my main thing was I just wanted to point out that this is not something that's happening in Minneapolis or something that's happening in Ferguson or something that's happening in Atlanta in isolated situations. There are a list full of names of people who have been killed by the Rockford Police Department, who have been killed in the Winnebago County Jail, who have been killed by the metros in this area, and people who have not faced charges for these things. So I'm gonna get you. So while we have this moment in time, don't let up on this moment. The same way people know Trayvon Martin's name, the same way people know Breonna Taylor's name, we have those names here. I'm taking my time and I'm educating myself and I'm informing myself about these people, about these cases, and about these situations. Every day that I'm not out here protesting, I'm talking to multiple people from the community that some of them look like me, some of them look like my mans right here, some of them look like my mans over there, and they all telling me about dealing with police excessive force, police brutality, police harassment, and being stereotyped in the city of Rockford. So this is not something that we're going to let be swept under the rug. This is not something that we're going to let people set up conversations or put up roadblocks or try to deter it with some kind of intimidation factor. We're going to continue to be out here. If this is the treatment that we get when we come out here to the courthouse, we will be out here Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I'll bring you TV and popcorn and we'll watch you right there in the middle of the street. All right, so give me 1 second. I got somebody else that's going to talk, and then we're going to get the speakers coming up here.
So there are a couple officers that don't have any name tags on,
And I think that's absolutely not acceptable. The reason why people hide their identity, so I understand. Also, Joshua Sims, this is somebody who's on the police department. They went into court and they lied about an innocent protester, non-violent protester, and he went on the court to say that he was attacked with a deadly weapon. So that is a lie. That's a lie. And that's what they're trying to do to people. They're trying to lock them away. And that's why we're here, to hear people's stories and to make it very obvious that they gotta go. They gotta go. So, yeah, Joshua Sims is his name. Hold your officers accountable.
Hello, I was brutalized on May 30th. I'm going to start off with the mayor, Tom McNamara's statement. If I can read it. I'm going to read the first sentence. I stand behind Chief O'Shea 100%. I think that pretty much sums up his statement. I can't really read it because of the light. Yeah, that's it. He stands by him 100%. There's a bunch of other bootlicking going on in the statement. The other thing I wanted to read was my charges. Because even though they brutalized me and took away my rights, I was charged. That on or about the 30th day of May 2020 in the county of Winnebago, state of Illinois, me committed the offense of criminal trespass to state-supported property, in that I knowingly entered upon the land of Rockford Police Department located at 1045 West State Street, which is supported by local, state, and federal funds, after receiving, this is the important part, after receiving prior to such entry notice from the owner-occupant, Rockford Police Department, that such entry was forbidden in violation of a code 720 ILCS 5-21, Class A misdemeanor, maximum 6 months in jail, probation up to 2 years, and a maximum fine of $1,500. And what that's for is I was with my community lawfully assembling. I did none of the violence. I was standing with the organizers in front of a glass building while rocks were thrown at us. I had nothing to do with anything like that. I was peacefully protesting. And then later they lined up like the army. You know, they were all geared out like they were ready to beat our heads in. And I was standing there with my hands up and people around me. And without any warning, no attempt to disperse us at all. We were standing there. They were hands up. They charged. And when they charged, I said, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Well, nobody did. Everybody laughed. And as I was by myself, I turned. So I had my back to them with my hands in there. I was not a threat. And they hit me from the back with sticks. And threw a stick underneath me. It couldn't have been dropped because I was slipping as they hit me from behind. It was underneath me. I was above it, so it couldn't have been dropped. It was thrown under me. So I had to reach out and grab it to protect my face because it was bouncing as I was. And they used that as the justification for then throw me on the concrete rub it into the concrete. 2 guys on my back, and 2 officers on each side, one on each side, until they could get my arms behind my back, and they cuffed me so tight that I was bleeding. Then they took sticks and they tried to put their sticks behind my arms, behind my back, and I tried to pull my arms in, so then they just started jamming the sticks in like a churning butter, so they could get enough leverage to twist my arms. Still in handcuffs, they're super tight. Then they lifted me off the ground with the sticks, which was excruciating. All the pressure was on the tight handcuffs and my shoulders. And then they took me inside. None of the cops wore masks. Made fun of me for wearing my mask. I guess we held there. At one point, one officer, I said, I didn't do anything wrong. I was peaceful, and he beat me down. He said, I guess it's a case of a wrong place at the wrong time, and then laughed. Then we went to the jail, which required more handcuffs.